They told me not to open room 217 after midnight. The warning came from the woman who polished the stairs. She said it softly, as if the door could hear. I smiled and kept the warning anyway. Smiles are easy. Belief is harder. The hotel stood on a low hill above the town. Its lights were kind to strangers and cruel to memory. The lobby smelled of coffee and lemon. The corridor to 217 was long and felt older than the rest of the building. The carpet there was darker. Guests stepped around it. My job was simple. I gave keys. I logged names. People told me things they would not tell their friends. A man told me he missed his son. A woman said she was tired. Knights collect confessions. I folded them away and kept them like receipts. Rumor said 217 returned what you had lost. People woke there with a name on their lips or the smell of a long-ago kitchen. A businessman left his suitcase in the lobby and fled after a night in that room. A mother sat in the lobby and wept because she smelled her child's hair. The cleaning woman called it patient. She did not look at the door. Then a repairman came. He had hands thick from work and a small photograph folded in his wallet. He fixed windows and the boiler. He paused at 217 and listened as if the door made music only he could hear. After a while, he told me about a woman named Lena who had once lived in that room. Lena loved a radio and waited for a man who sailed away. He never returned. The repairman kept the photograph in his hand like a prayer. He said he had found a torn piece of paper under a loose floorboard. On it was one clear line: "If you ever come, close the door." The rest of the sentence had been ripped away. He said the room kept the rest. One night the phone rang. The voice on the line was thin and distant. It was from 217. The repairman asked me to bring a blanket and sit with him in the corridor. We sat against the wall while the door breathed. From inside came a single piano note, long and soft. It made the hair on my arms lift. "She left pieces," the repairman said. "It will show you what you need to see." He put his hand on the knob and held it like a man who knew the weight of choice. I thought of my father, who had been gone for years. I thought of the photograph in the repairman's wallet and the face inside it that looked like someone I had once loved. I opened the door. The room smelled like tea and old paper. A radio sat on a small table. A dress lay folded on the bed. The mirror showed a face that was both mine and not mine. On the dresser was the torn paper. The radio clicked, and the rest of my mother's line played, as if the room knew how to finish sentences. "Close the door, and do not carry me out," it said. The voice was not cruel. It was patient. Everything offered itself to me then. The radio promised comfort. The dress promised warmth. The photograph promised the return of a time I missed. The shadow in the chair smiled with my mother's laugh. It was easy to reach. It was easy to believe. The repairman took my wrist. He said, "You cannot keep what the room remembers without losing a part of yourself." He had carried his photograph for years. He had seen what happens when you stitch the past into your present. Houses fill with echoes. People learn to live inside borrowed rooms. I left the dress on the bed. I closed the door. The radio stopped being human and returned to noise. The repairman folded the photograph away. He fed the torn letters to the boiler and watched the flames take them. He did not explain. Some things are understood by holding the knob until the metal is warm. I quit the hotel a month later. The manager asked why. I told him the city called me. That was true. Another part was truer. I could not keep sorting other people's losses. I had almost taken a room's memory into my life. The thought felt like a cut that never closes. Years later, I passed the hill, and the hotel looks the same. Room 217 sits at the far end of the corridor, as it always has. Sometimes, very rarely, I stand outside and listen. Far away, under the hum of the town, a single piano note still comes and goes. There is comfort in returning. There is danger in keeping. I still dream of that folded dress and the photograph. Sometimes I think the hotel keeps them safer than I could. Other nights, I wake with the dress across my chest in the dark, and I know how the past can sit inside you like a second shadow. The repairman told me, remembering is a practice, not a trophy. We collect objects like anchors. Anchors hold boats and can drown them. Room 217 taught me grief is not a thing to carry. It is a room you step into when you must see clearly. If you stand before that door, choose gently. Let the music fade, or take the key and learn to live with an echo. In the end, the choice will define you forever.